You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Larry here from Drakewing Gaming, and setting down to the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia, Nate's Path. So y'all, I am running the latest updated version right now. Apparently it has a bit of a reworked intro and orientation day, so I'm looking forward to going through that whenever we start a new run with a new character. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. She nods her head in understanding. Don't worry about it. If you'd like me to leave, I will. But before I go, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you. Huh? Her words finally catch my attention enough to get me to actually look at her directly. That's right. What for? I sit with a perplexed expression. We hardly know each other. Exactly. That's why I'm so thankful you kept your word. You didn't have to keep Chris's secret, but you did anyway. The plan was to keep things as low-key as possible, but you didn't expect a loser like me stumbling on your meeting in the forest. Don't say that. You're not a loser, Ben. Heh. I roll my eyes. I'm practically the loser extraordinaire of campus. Well, I think you're cool. It's not just because you're keeping a secret from me. Ah, for some reason she's making me feel embarrassed. Chris adores you, by the way. Eh? He's always talking about his students, but you're the one who comes up the most. It's like you're his measure. What's that supposed to mean? It means he judges how well he's doing as a mentor by how you respond to things. Really? Me of all people? If I may ask out of line for a moment, I really think he's trying to impress you. Why? Shay shrugs her shoulders and smiles. That I couldn't tell you. Huh. It's not like that. It's not like I'm that special, right? I'm sorry for how we acted last night. Chris feels really bad about holding your grades over your heads. Yeah, that was a bit surprising. Just so you know, he wasn't doing that to protect himself. He did that to protect the two of you. Were you really planning on going deeper into the forest? Think back to how Zach was acting. He kept pressing on. Wish I knew why. Zach was, but... well, he's an odd one. You never really know what's going on in that guy's mind. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I hope this whole mess didn't change the way you think about Chris too much. I paused for a moment to consider what to say. Nope, not really. A little white lie never hurt. To be honest, I didn't really give it much thought after the fact. Especially considering everything else that happened that night. For sure. Well, I'd still like to make it up to you. Apologizing just doesn't feel like enough. No, you don't have to do anything. I insist. I'm just glad to see that Chris isn't the virginal freak he comes across as. She bursts into laughter. I know what you mean. Though you may not be far off on your impression. You're kidding. We haven't exactly done much in the way of intimacy. I crooked my head to the side slightly. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but... give it a little more time. Chris seems like the kind of guy who wants to go slow. Like, really savor the moments together. You think so? That, or you can try being more forward. I can't believe I'm giving relationship advice to Shay right now. You mean... yeah. If you want it, you gotta tell him. He's a bit dense. She laughs again, this time almost choking on her mouthful of salad. Thank you, now. Sweet coffee. You're right. Thanks, Ben. No problem. It's kind of funny. She was the last person I wanted to talk to earlier. Now here we are having a nice time together. Unlike Karina, I don't think there's a way I could dislike Shay even if I tried. You know, I had this weird thought occur to me last week. It's gonna sound dumb, but bear with me. I'm all ears. Karina seemed to hit it off really well with my roommate Zach, whereas the two of you seem to be at odds with each other since the beginning. We're getting better. Yeah, I know, that's what she said too. I take a sip from my cup. At this point, I'm just drinking the melted ice at the bottom. I guess my point is that you and I get along well enough. Karina and Zach get along really well. She looks over at me with her entrancing blue eyes. Again, it's super dumb, but I had this thought that if it weren't for that whole gender separation thing, Karina and I would have done much better with each other's roommates. That's not dumb at all. It's actually kind of cute. She beams at me with a genuine smile. It took some time, but Karina and I are starting to get along really well. I take it it's the same for you and your roommate? I definitely have to stop and think about this one. We do, at least I think. Maybe we could hang out together more, but But he doesn't make it easy, huh? I shake my head. Sometimes I wonder if he would have preferred one of those solo rooms at the other end of the building. Sounds to me like he just needs some time to warm up to you. I'm sure by the end of the semester you'll be the best of friends. She gives me some nice words of encouragement. Thanks. What works for me is trying to meet new friends on their own terms. I'd do that, but he's hardly ever around. That just means you'll have to try harder. And maybe tag along with him when he goes somewhere. I'm sure he wouldn't mind the company. I raise my eyebrows at her suggestion. That's not a bad idea, actually. Why didn't I think of that? I fold my arms and look the other way. I guess I was expecting Zach to come to me, not the other way around. You're welcome. See? Told you I'd make it up to you. I stick around a little bit longer talking to Shay. Turns out she shares a class with Zach, too. Makes sense, seeing how they're both in the pre-med program. Overall, this was a surprisingly nice meeting with someone I didn't expect. Here's hoping that things go well between her and Chris. Unsurprisingly, I find myself alone in the dorm when I make it back. I take the opportunity to fill in my sister on everything that's happened this week. Or, well, most of it at least. Before sending the email, I read it over once more to make sure everything sounds good. That was something she always did for me. Signal. Coffee time. She'd always look over my essays and proofread them before I'd turn them in. Jess always wanted to be an editor working for one of the big publishers. She was so close, too. Without dwelling on it any further, I decide I'm satisfied with what I wrote and hit send. A crazy week. Wait, what? I have to squint my eyes to make sure what I'm seeing on screen is real. At the top of my inbox, there's an unread message. There's no title, and the message preview only says, hello. My eyes widen, though. That on its own is creepy enough, but when I see the address of the sender, it's from my sister's account. All I can do right now is stare at the message in my inbox. I can feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. No, this can't be right. I take a deep breath to still my nerves and click on the email. It just says, hello. Nothing else. My blood runs cold. Could it be? How could it? Why now? Has she been... I shake my head. No, that's completely impossible. I saw her body there in the coffin. My sister is dead. There's no getting around that. So then what the fuck is this? All the fear I felt earlier has given way to a quiet rage in my veins. There's only one real explanation for this. Somebody hacked into my sister's account. I have half a mind to respond to the message telling him to fuck right off, but... I close my eyes and take another deep breath. Moments later, I close my laptop. I sit back in the chair with my hands behind my head. I suppose I had this coming. Sending letters to my dead sister isn't exactly the healthiest thing to do. And yet... what's done is done. I can't keep blaming myself forever. That's the last thing Jess would have wanted. She would have been so proud of me that I managed to get into one of the top universities in the nation. But here I am, still stuck living in the past. I close my eyes and breathe. I can't keep doing this. The hacker was a wake-up call. At this point, I'm just holding on to a ghost in my head. Nothing is going to bring my sister back from the dead. I think it's time for me to grow up and move on. September 16th, 2018. The day before the war. No, I don't know. What you doing there, Ben? Whether or not I meant to, my eyes slowly open. It's like, Neil. I don't move from my position. In my half-awake state, I'm met with nothing but pitch blackness in my dorm. This is unusual. It's not often I get a dreamless night of sleep. Every time it happens, though, my eyes glance over at the only source of light in the room. My digital clock's numbers glow red in the dark, clearly shining even from across the room. It's almost 5 a.m. Yeah, Every time I get a dreamless night, I wake up extremely weary, extremely early. Huh, I'm not sure what's worse. I hear rustling coming from the other bed in the room. Sounds like Zach's waking up too. I hear a soft thump as his feet reach the floor. I close my eyes again, preferring not to have him notice I'm awake right now. What a strange schedule he has. I still want to talk to him about something? For the life of me, I can't remember why. I just have this feeling that I owe him a thank you. It's not like he gives me many opportunities to do so. The only time I saw him yesterday was when I got back from the library, and he was already fast asleep in his bed. I wasn't even out that late. I carefully open one eye slightly as I sense movement in the room. I can faintly make out the figure of my roommate as he reaches for something on his desk. In moments, a faint light emanates from the end of his cell phone. My heart starts racing for some reason. I can't see almost anything, but I can tell he isn't wearing much. Occasionally, the light flashes off one of his blue scales. I can't believe I never noticed how little he wears to bed. And again, it's kind of hard to get a good look when he practically buries himself in the sheets and blankets. I anxiously wait for my eyes to adjust to the darkness, but I'm still not able to see much. God, Ben, this is your roommate. Stop being such a pervert. Out of respect for Zach's privacy, I close my eyes again. I doubt he expects me to be up this early, since it's not like I ever have. If I were him, I'd hate to find out that my roommate was peeping on me while I thought he was asleep. My eyes swing open without my control when I hear a closet door slide open. For a split second, I catch a glimpse of Zach bending over to grab a basket from the bottom of the closet. My mind must be filling in all the blanks. I can't see much really, but I know exactly what I'm looking at. The image fades quick enough, but it leaves me in a really tense state. I watch as the shadowed figure now shines his light on the top shelf, then reaches up and pulls down a towel. The flashlight on his phone then turns off. I hear the sound of him wrapping the towel around his waist. Then, from what I can vaguely make out in the darkness, he reaches down and grabs the basket and heads for the front door. He gently opens it, allowing the light from the hallway to briefly pour into the room. Then he slips out and closes it behind him. My heart is still racing. If it weren't for the absence of light, I would have had quite the show. And that there's nobody to hear me roll over and put my hands behind my head. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting back to sleep after that. 1 second, y'all. Last couple minutes. Coffee time. Honestly, with how much homework I have to do still, it's probably not a bad idea for me to get up too. I lay here, pondering for a moment before I make up my mind. I quickly slide out of bed and do a quick stretch to get the morning stiffness out of my muscles, in a particular region below the belt. Ah! I accidentally graze my hand against my dresser in the darkness. Screw it, I'm just going to turn on the lights. I glance around the room. It really doesn't look much different than it does at night. Kind of puts into perspective how early I'm up. I return to my spot to continue my brief stretch routine. Now that I'm up, I don't really know what to do. Didn't really think that through, did I? I walk over to my desk and consider turning on my laptop. Imagine Zach's shock if he were to walk in and I'm up as if nothing out of the ordinary. You know, I've been meaning to talk to him, and right now he's just down the hall. Who knows if he'll stick around long when he comes back. Man, if I want to have this meeting with him, I'm probably going to have to force it. It'll definitely be a weight off my mind, that's for sure. What's the harm? It's not like I haven't showered even with other guys before. What makes Zach any different? Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I don't have much to lose, and it's not like he'll be able to go anywhere fast. Oop. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Kate Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!